So, what's your name?
My name is Wade Green.
How long have you been in the fire service for?
I've been in the fire service for about 30 years or so. Paid on call for 27.
And where do you work now?
City of Fort Worth.
How long have you been there?
That would be 26, 27 years.
What rank are you now?
I'm a lieutenant, downtown, fire station number 2. So,
and how long have you been working with training division for?
I've been with training division for about 20 years.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the experience of an instructor here?
The instructors, basically, their experience is to help the students get an experience, right? But most of our instructors are several that have been in the fire service 35, 40 years old. And then we have some instructors that have only been in the fire service 7 or 8.
It's kind of a sense of variety, right?
Yes,
you have the energy of the young instructors coming in, and then the experience and knowledge of the older guys.
Yes, sir.
What is the average experience of a student coming down for a 2-week boot camp?
Well, first of all, they've completed some online stuff. They've completed some textbook stuff, and hopefully that got them somewhat ready to go. And then the daily experience on the boot camp is getting up at 5:30, breakfast, hands-on training till about 5 or 6 in the evening, and then breaking down and doing studying for the evening, for the next day or for upcoming tests.
Right. And what is the testing process here?
Well, the testing process is the student will enroll, and they'll do some prerequisite testing to get familiar with the material. After they complete that, then they can call training division or reach out to training division and request being placed in the boot camp. At that, they would get put in a part 2 where they would complete some more testing, start working towards some homework, again, get them ready for the hands-on, and then they show up, usually a Friday morning.
So they come here, and then what's day 1 look like? Just walk me through the itinerary and what they...
So day 1 is going to be an orientation. That's usually that Friday. A student gets here around lunchtime, then 3 or 4 hours going over rules, regulations, what to expect, getting their beds, how the meals work, things like that, just general back and forth, get them comfortable and relaxed, and then we'll roll into the following day, which that's when they start getting their hands dirty. They'll start getting their PE, bunker gear. They'll start working on some ropes and knots, things like that, just some general stuff. Each day progresses. So the first Saturday may be a little bit laid back again because they're getting a PPE, doing some ropes and knots, and then it'll roll into just some hose day 1. Then maybe we start working towards getting their SCBAs, and make comfortable with that, doing some consumption drills, and it just works up in the ladders.
Kind of a steady progression.
Ultimately, around, I guess it would be 10 or 11, somewhere in there, they've done a lot of the hands-on, so then they move into live fire training. So we'll have 2 days of live fire training.
And where do they go for that? Is that at the school?
They go right down the road. There's Johnson County has a fire training center, which
awesome.
So a couple of days there. Ultimately, when that's done, they've done all the skills testing, and now they'll move into actually finally doing their certification exam.
Can you explain that more? What does that entail, and what kind of certification do you get when you're done here?
So basically, if the students that are from Texas, they're here to get their commission cert. That is to work in the state of Texas. Students that are from Canada, Europe, other states, anywhere international, New Zealand, they're basically to get their IFSAC seals. The IFSAC seals Fire 1, Fire 2, hazmat awareness, hazmat ops. The path to get that commission cert to work in the state of Texas and to get those IFSAC seals, the path's the same way. It's just at the end of the day or at the end of the boot camp, they're filling out different paperwork. But basically, one of the final days that they're here, we'll take them down to one of the local colleges, and they'll challenge the commission test. If they're successful on that commission, it's an online test right now. It used to be written. It's an online multiple choice. Once they're successful, which they should be, if they prepared and studied and all, and taken instruction well, then they will ultimately be eligible when they pass that exam to apply for either those IFSAC seals or that commission cert, depending on what their goal is.
Okay. We're talking about, obviously training division has all the PPE for them, but what does the recruit need to bring down with them?
So really the recruit doesn't have to bring a lot. We require station type pants, or fire station pants, long pants, no shorts or anything like that. They'll be issued t-shirts. Workout, they'll need to bring shorts, things like that. Depending on what time of year, warm in the summer, during the winter, maybe bring some sweats and stuff like that. But fire gear is all provided: helmets, coat, hoods, CBA, pants, boots, things like that. As for just the station, we call it station gear: t-shirt and pants, and then some sort of approved shoe or boot.
Okay, good. How many mistakes do you see students make when they're coming down here?
The biggest one I see, and I deal a lot with the testing and the certification stuff. Instruct as much as I used to, but what I see is students not coming. What I'm talking about is not in the book like they need to. Now they're given plenty of tests. They're given practice tests before they get here. They need to go in there and take time and get really familiar with that material, because they will have a final exam when they get here, which they have to score, pass at least with a minimum of 70%. We require, Training Vision requires an 80%. The state requires 70%. And then ultimately be successful. As for probably the instruction stuff, the hands-on, probably some of the stuff that I've seen is just not being ready, maybe physically. Now it's not horrible. It's not like a boot camp, an Army boot camp, lots of push-ups and running up and down hills and things like that, but you need to be in pretty decent shape.
If you want to be a firefighter, the expectation is that you're in good shape.
At the same time, you're smaller, you shouldn't let that intimidate you and say you're swinging at small people, lighter weight, who can work better than some 7 foot, 6 foot, 280 pounds of muscle. Everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, no pun intended. But just basically come here mentally and physically ready. And there's some, in the syllabus and some of the paperwork that the students get before they get here, there's some guidelines and some guidance in there.
Okay. What happens if somebody is unsuccessful with the test?
So this is the main thing. We try to knock out the final exam, which is based off their study material that they were studying before they got here. Like they go up on a Friday, we will have a final exam. Right now, we do it on the first Sunday, right? And it's to kind of who's prepared and who's not. The commission, state requires a 70%. Training division requires an 80%. But not successful, we have to have a talk, hard talk. It may require you going back to where you came from, going back home, and then coming to a future boot camp when you are prepared.
Okay.
We do the best we can to make sure that the students show up with all the material and the testing that to be ready.
Sounds like you're doing everything to set them up for success.
We try to
work.
And that's the hardest thing is getting the students. I understand how online works.
Yeah.
You know, career firefighter, we do a lot of our education hours and stuff like that and training online now.
Sure.
And I understand you've got to be self-motivated and you've got to make that time. And you can sit there and you can say, well, I'll take the day off and then I'll take tomorrow off and I'll take the next, but it will catch up to you. So you've got to make sure that you focus on what needs to be done and study and be prepared when you show up.
Right, take it seriously. It's a serious job.
It's a serious job. We lose too many firefighters, you know, in the United States,
Too many.
and way too many. And it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong. It's just on top of things. And this is a good place to start the training, the initial training.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for me. Anything you want to add?
No, not really. Again, the student can always reach out to us.
Yeah.
While they're in the program. My main thing is, is study. There are some things you can't pick up. There's, you're not dragging a hose at home, right?
Yeah.
You're not throwing ladders at home. Not unless you have living next to a fire station, they'll let you do it. But in the online material, there's a lot of that will help you understand it so that when you get here and you're throwing those ladders on that Thursday afternoon or rolling that hose on that Monday morning and you're doing that live fires, there's a lot of stuff you can do to show up.
Perfect. All right, thanks so much, Wade.